morning, YouTube. How's everybody doing? Back doing another unboxing. It's been a little while since I've done one, with Christmas here and everything. So first and foremost, I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So without further ado, this unboxing will be on the XLF Q601. Banggood is carrying this truck here. It's available in this orange color here and this rose red color. I ended up picking up the orange one. Okay, so some information on the box. As you can see, obviously it says off-road. It's a Q601, says it right over here in the corner. Four-wheel drive truck. Some of the features it has is a 60 amp electronic speed control. Says here it comes with a 7.4 volt lithium ion 4200 milliamp battery, 6 shocks, 6 kilogram high torque servo, and a 3660 2700 kV motor. Hopefully that can be upgradable. I can take and swap that out, put one with a bit less torque, maybe a bit more speed on it. Pretty standard fare. Everything else, let's see, IPX4 waterproof system. So let's see here. Yeah, nothing really. It says the range of 60 meters, so it's about 200 feet. Yeah. So yeah, some more information on the side of the truck. As you can see, they're claiming 52 kilometers an hour. We know that that's definitely not the case, especially if it's only a 2700 kV motor. But 3660, maybe with a 3S, might come close to that, but we shall see. It's touted as a 112 scale. It's definitely not a 110 scale, nor does any of the advertising show 110. It's definitely heavy. So I'm just going to take everything out of the box. I'll show you guys what's in the box. First of all, we have this owner's manual, a little bit damaged in transit, but that's the book right here. Okay, and in it, of course, the standard, how to set it up, parts list, controls and all that. So typical owner's manual. And in this box we have our remote. Typical XLF remote as in the past, as you guys will see. That's the controls up top. So steering trim, dual rates, high low speed switch, and steering reverse, as well as the power. And then apparently there's lights on here too. You can see the 2 buttons up there. So you got our foam grip controller, kind of on the big side for one hand. You can kind of get it, but it's on the larger side. So and inside here, in this bag, we have just the standard USB 2S charger, and we have our wrench. That's a proprietary wrench, only for XLF RCs. I find they're the only ones that use this type of wrench. Okay. Okay, so the truck itself is strapped to the bottom. I'm just going to quickly get this off. Okay. And it's nice that they package it the way they do, because it comes a long way, obviously, and it avoids damages while shipping, which always happens. So this is very familiar, as from the 91215, same kind of idea. We have our bracing underneath. That's the new body style in terms of color. Okay, shocks are oil filled, thankfully. We got our double shocks in the back, as you can see right there, so quite stiff. Not sure exactly why you need 2 in the back. It's not like it's a super heavy truck. I mean, it's got some weight to it, but I think it's a little overkill, if you ask me. But who knows, I might end up taking a row out, so it'll just be a standard 4 shocks RC, and then if I ever need to replace, I have. Okay, so something a little different to show you guys, something you haven't seen before on a 9125. So we have a 3660 2700 kV motor, like I mentioned before. We have, it said lithium ion on the box, but it's actually a LiPo battery. Let me take this one out. Okay, this one's, it's really in there, so not much room, unless you move everything around to put a larger battery in here. But okay, see, so the battery is velcroed down as well to the bottom. So it says here 4200 milliamp. It's a bit on the small side, but it is thicker than normal, so it might actually be a 4200 milliamp. All right, so it says 30C. It's a 2S LiPo, as you can see. It's definitely not lithium ion. All right, so of course we have our DINs and we have a charging port. So it's nice that they actually give us a LiPo. These days, people are only manufacturers only giving lithium ion, cheapening out, but at least they're, you know, doing the LiPo thing, which is nice. Okay. All right, so we have our 6 kilogram servo, which is right underneath this metal shield right over here. So it's a nice touch. Looks like we have our on-off switch, obviously encased in metal as well, and we have our, looks like our 60 amp 2-in-1 ESC. So they're adding the metal bits to, you know, give it a more of an upscale feel. Like I said, these shock towers are extremely thick. They're, well, in some parts they're about maybe 7 or 8 millimeters, down to about maybe 4 millimeters on the towers themselves. Okay, so it's very, very thick, and like I said before, we have our double shocks in the back. Yeah, there's really no need to be that stiff, but maybe I'll just take a set out and just leave it as a floor, like I said. Yeah, so we have very, very steel, what am I saying? We have very thick hardware. You can see the dog bone setup in the rear. Okay, so it's definitely a dog bone setup. Diffs are finely oiled for sure, yeah. And yeah, so that's first time I'm seeing a 3660 in a 1/12 scale Zinglihong. Up front we have a CVD setup. I want to show you what they look like. So as you can see, the CVD ball joint in there, and we have a very thick reinforced section right here coming out of the drive cup. So yeah, everything is reinforced much more than it used to be in the past. More of a basher type vehicle. Of course, we have our LED light panel behind here. You can see the circuitry right there, and that of course runs through and plugs into a central point, which is nice. So here's for the front lights, and this one's for the rear lights. So we got our little wheelie bar, and we have our LED light over here, and of course, like I said already, up front. So yeah, everything is basically fully upgraded on this guy. Maybe the only thing you want to maybe tinker around would be maybe the tires, if they're not to your liking. I know that these tires do a fairly good job for on and off road grip. So yeah, and yeah, because it's a 60 amp ESC, it can definitely handle 3S, especially being a 2700 kV motor. So yeah, a bit on the low kV sides, which means it's got a lot of torque because it's got some weight, so I can understand why it's a 2700 kV, but with a 3S LiPo, it'll definitely wake it up. So I guess that would be the conclusion of my unboxing of the Zinglihong Q601 1/12 scale 4-wheel drive monster truck. So if you guys have any questions about this particular RC or any of the other ones in my fleet, please leave a comment below. I'll answer any questions that you guys may have. All right, have a good day. Ciao.